This transition that we've been going through has honestly been one of the hardest times of my life. Even if you actually don't have any friends, the body of Christ, by definition, is your community. Hello, hello. Welcome to today. I look a hot mess, don't I? It is like 3 something in the afternoon, and I have pretty much been editing that video of us going down the Pomeri Highway. I've been editing that pretty much all day. Also, in that video, I mentioned that our car, when we arrived, we were like an hour away, and then the engine light started coming on and weird sounds started happening in the car. And so now our car is in the shop. So we're just chilling at home, but we are going to take Kairos to a little park, like an indoor park, which they have all over here. They do have them in America, but in America I feel like they're so expensive. Here, the most expensive one is $10, like unlimited time. And you can find really fun ones for $3. So that's our favorite thing to do when we are in the city. And it so happens to be on the bottom floor of the building that we're living in right now. So it's a win-win. Look at the Lord providing. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for that and just get ready in general, because I don't like the feeling of sitting around and just being in pajamas all day. I hate that feeling, not gonna lie. Unless it's like a movie day. I was thinking more about the social anxiety thing, and I've been thinking about it all week. Like, what is it about people that just make me so awkward to get around? Like, I am the person that has social anxiety that translates into social awkwardness. I quite literally say the wrong thing at the wrong time always. And maybe that's not true, but I know in some instances it has been true, and it just makes me feel just so awkward all the time, because I'm the person that after an interaction has passed, I'm playing it over in my head and thinking like, why did I say that? Why did I say it that way? You know, I don't know, just replaying it over and over. And for me, that keeps me in future interactions from saying anything, because if I speak, I'm just terrified of saying the wrong thing. I think I'm also afraid of being theologically wrong, because if you've watched my testimony of how I left the Hebrew Israelite religion, whatever you want to call it, and even times before I was in that, like I have been so wrong theologically, wrong and loud, that I sometimes I'm just afraid of like actually being wrong and misguiding people or saying the wrong thing, that I tend to not say anything at all. And that always translates into coming off either standoffish or shy, or I don't know. And maybe I am. I don't know. Hey! Augustine. Hey, dude. Once again, the baby's making an appearance. If I thought anybody cared about my makeup that I use or makeup routine, I would totally let you know what I'm using. But honestly, I really don't think anybody cares that much. At least not about my makeup, because clearly I don't do very much. But if you do care, if that is something you want to know, let me know. Now I can pretend like I know something. To be honest, I'm only getting ready to feel a little bit better about the day, because just feeling so meh. So meh. So meh. Can I put you down so I can do my hair? I do miss my curls, in the sense, just simply to have a different style to do every day, but I think my locks fit me a little bit better. Uh-oh, TD. Ooh, it's me. That's Augie. Show me your outfit, Augie. So yeah, I'm wearing my older brother's hand-me-downs. Kairos, show us what you're wearing. Yeah, buddy. Show me your boots. Yeah. So handsome. Daddy Bear.
Same thing as yesterday.
That's what vacation's like. Hello, hi. Good morning from December 3rd. I feel like I have not done a good job at explaining exactly where I am mentally lately. I feel like I've alluded to it, I've glazed over it, but I have not explicitly stated, excuse Augustine, he's right here. I haven't explicitly stated, like, how am I doing mentally? And I should say that mentally, this season, this transition that we've been going through has honestly been one of the hardest times of my life. It's a time when all of the facets of just being myself, being a mom, a wife, a believer, all of it, like, they're all coming together at such a crucial level. Am I explaining this correctly? They're all at a time of their utmost intensity and level of difficulty, all at the same time. And so I feel like I'm at a crossroads. I feel like either I'm going to continue and I'm just gonna sink and just not do well, or I'm going to grow into something that is completely different than who I've been previously. I just feel like the level of faith that I'm called to have in this time of my life is something so outside of myself, so outside of my capability of producing on my own, that I feel like I'm in free fall, and I'm just trusting the Lord to mold me and shape me through this season into someone who is capable of handling the level of difficulty that my life requires right now. So yeah, I think my life before, without kids, was very cushy, very comfortable. Although it was hard, although the Lord did ask some very hard things of me, there were things that I was happy to do because I knew the fruit that it would produce. And even if I wasn't happy to do it, like, I don't know, it just was a different time and a different season. And so now it's been just a really hard season and transition, mentally and emotionally and physically, because as a breastfeeding mom, like, you are so demanded of all day long that my 24-year-old self, before I had kids, if I was feeling some type of way, if I was feeling anxious or overwhelmed, like, I could just go to the beach and write and journal for hours. I could just go out onto my balcony and write. We lived in a van our first 2 years of marriage, and so yeah, I could just spend so much time just writing and thinking and reflecting and just pouring my soul out so that I could process everything I was feeling and just get it out so that I could, grow and heal. But with kids, that time does not come very often. Like right now, I try to get up at 4 a.m., but if he gets up with me, then, like, I can still journal, but that time is just so limited and so short. And then also, like, I'm trying to not drink coffee. Uh-oh. Perfect timing. What's the matter? I'm trying not to drink coffee because I feel like it's not good for someone with anxiety. Like, I'm trying to limit my coffee consumption, but then I can barely function throughout the day because I'm getting up so early just to have some alone time. And it's just a cycle of, like, either I'm gonna drink coffee and be awake and have maybe some time, possibly, and be a presentable human throughout the day, but be incredibly anxious and overwhelmed, and, like, my thoughts are just going so fast. Or I'm not gonna drink coffee, I'm gonna be a zombie, I'm probably not gonna have that alone time, etc., etc. And, you know, I do have a husband who is incredibly helpful where he can be helpful, but like I said, when you have a baby who is breastfed, there's a disconnect there. He can't do that. And I think babies, I don't know, maybe this is just my experience, babies who are breastfed are a little more clingy with their mom. And so even when he does take the baby wants his mama. So yeah, there's a balance in these newborn years that we are still learning and still figuring out. And it's all incredibly hard. And then I mentioned before, you know, we live so far from things and all the comforts that I'm used to. And so that's just another level. And then it's a new culture. It's a new place where, you know, we're not known. No one knows us. That's also very difficult navigating. And all of our, you know, close friends and family, they're far. We really rely on each other, our family unit. We do keep in touch with our friends back home, and it's so helpful and refreshing. And we have our little things here and there that we do to keep us grounded. But yeah, overall, it's just a really hard season. So yeah, I didn't want to continue making these videos and give the wrong impression that we're just like la-di-da, just living life. Like, no, it's been pretty hard. It's been a tough transition for me personally, mentally and emotionally. But at the same time, there's this unspeakable joy and peace. It's like, and I've mentioned it in a video previously, there's this peace that's like a steady current throughout my soul, that even if my heart and mind are in chaos, there's this river of peace that just runs through it, that I can jump into at any time and float down and be at ease and be okay, and know that everything is okay. Everything will be okay. Hamachi's zor mechavad. It's just, I think in these particular times when everything seems to be on level 100, getting into that river of peace should be the most natural thing to do, but it just feels kind of like for me, my mind is left thinking about all these other things and obsessing about how I can make them better and what I can do and how to, and all that time thinking about that, I'm not in the river of peace. I'm not, like, just being still and resting. Another thing I didn't mention was the feeling of isolation and loneliness is so real. Even with people around, even with community and whatnot, like back home or here, like, it's so, when you're struggling, it's so easy to feel alone. I feel like that's Satan's number one tactic. Like, that's his first go-to, is to make sure you feel so isolated and alone and that you can't reach out to anyone, and that nobody will understand, and that nobody will even care enough to understand. I feel like his first objective is to get you feeling isolated and alone, and then to actually isolate you from other people by making you feel like nobody could possibly understand, want to understand, or have time for you to understand. And so then you're just left to your own brain and your own devices and your own company, which is miserable in this state. And so I think my encouragement, if anyone else is feeling this way, or like in your own life, in your own struggles, in motherhood, or even in singleness, like whatever the Lord has you on in your journey right now, do not believe the lie that you don't have anybody. Even if you actually don't have any friends. Let's say you don't have any friends, no community around you. The body of Christ, by definition, is your community. So I guarantee you, if you are a believer, there are places you can go, people you can reach out to, fellowships you can find yourself in and place yourself in, that people will be willing and ready to receive you and all of your stuff. And if you end up going to one and it doesn't work out, go to the next one. And keep doing that until you find a body of believers who are actually serious and equipped to walk with you through your season of life. Like a body of believers who actually practice the community of, who actually practice being the body. It's as simple as that. So with that being said, I am just going to take a shower to help myself just feel good about myself, and I'm going to clean up a little bit to kind of get ready for the day. So this still qualifies as a get ready with me. Get ready with me to feel mentally at ease. Right? Right. We probably have less than like 5 minutes before we have to leave. We're going to dinner at some friend's house, some friends' houses. And Tyler is downstairs with Kairos at the play park, but any second he's gonna come through and be like, "You're not ready yet?" Which, no, I'm not. But I'm literally in some sweats and a t-shirt. I think I'm just gonna throw over a flannel. What else is new? I think I'm gonna keep my glasses on. So this is my cozy look. If I have my glasses on, that means I'm in a cozy frame. So I think I'm just gonna put moisturizer on my face, maybe some lip gloss to make me feel productive, and call it a day. Oh man. Anyway, I was thinking earlier after my little rant, I was just thinking about how a lot of times in this state, the enemy likes us to keep us focused on, our problems and how our problems are making us feel. And I think that's our natural inclination, but the more we focus on that, the worse it gets. We're just sitting in the hole. And I think what the Lord wants us to do is focus on Him, focus on His power, focus on His glory, focus on who He is, all He's done throughout our lives. For me, like focusing on who Jesus has been to me throughout my entire life, just constantly showing up, faithfully walking with me through every scenario I've ever been in and working it out for my good. And not even just like, oh, this is better. No, significantly changing my life around every single time. Like, I have been in some of the darkest places, and yet He has picked me up. He's given me a friend, given me just a verse, a circumstance, a direction, the list goes on. He's always been a God of peace and a God of change for the better in my life. He's always been just the God that brings chaos into order and causes just the raging seas to be still. And so if I focus on that and I focus on him and who he is, the King of the universe, my God, then I can't possibly start to sink. Like Peter, when he asks Peter to get out of the boat and he walks, like when his eyes were on Jesus, he was good. The moment he started to look around at the chaos, he started to sink. And so I think that is what he's calling of all believers at all times. Just lock in. Lock in. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep your eyes on who he is, and he will see you through. And not just to any old place, but to somewhere way more beautiful than you could ever imagine. And that's just that. That's just the reality of being a believer. And you can either step into it and walk into it, or you can drown. Like Peter was still a believer, but he started to sink. So yeah, you could either flail around or you could enter into that peace. It's a work though. It is hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like it isn't hard, because it is. Faith and a walk of faith is something that is against the stream. It's against the current. Therefore, the world isn't teaching this. This is not something we grew up learning how to do unless you were blessed with just, a Christian household or, good mentors. And even then, it's hard for those people too. So just an encouragement, if you're walking through the mud or the mire, he's there with you. Focus on him and he will pull you out. Ain't that right? Say testify. Testify, mama. But yeah, this is my OOTD, just some sweats. I really need to put my glasses on because I can't see a thing. Hi there. This is our last day in this Airbnb. Tomorrow, we are actually going to a ski resort. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm on vacation. So I think I'm gonna vlog that, which means I am gonna end this little vlog or whatever this is right here. If you liked this kind of chatty sort of video, please let me know. And if you didn't, please let me know. Either way, I'm glad you watched this video. If you are not subscribed, you should do so right now. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Do I have anything else to say? I feel like my camera's gonna die any second.